and relationship coach. I primarily work with busy professional women like me so that I can help you be found by the partners that you deserve. Every Wednesday, I do this live Q&A. I take questions directly from my audience and directly from people who join me on YouTube around their dating and relationship life so that I can assist them into getting on the right path, so that we can create the families that we know that we need in order to produce the healthiest and happiest children, in order to establish generational wealth, in order to break generational curses. This is why I do the work that I do. And as a service to you, as a service to those who are in my community, I show up here every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, to do this live Q&A. And I mentioned it on Monday, 2 days ago, but I am going to make it official. I will also be doing live trainings every Monday here on YouTube. So Monday will be my live trainings and Wednesday will be a 30-minute Q&A. I will have to run strictly at 6:59 because I do have my group, which is my group coaching program, The Partner You Deserve. That is the program that you have seen all over my Instagram. That is the program that you've seen all over my YouTube, all over my TikTok, every platform, of all the engagements and the weddings and the committed relationships and folks who are having fun dating again. And they're finally learning how to transition from the app to the phone, to a quality date with like-minded people. Oh, I was supposed to pin this. I just remembered. I was going off too. Right? So I have that group that is in 23 minutes that I will have to jump off and join. Those are people who invested in themselves, who realize that they want to have a change, that they want to have a shift, that they want to adjust the trajectory of their love life. They recognize that I have a proven system to help them get there. Therefore, they invested in themselves and they joined The Partner You Deserve. Now, for some of you, you may be new. You may not be ready to invest. You may not know I have the formula. So allow me to show you an insight on said formula. I want you to join my Dating 101 Masterclass. My Dating 101 Masterclass. It will be hosted live this Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Eastern. All you have to do is click the link that I'm going to put right here. Hope this don't make nothing disappear. Let me know if I disappeared, guys, because y'all know I'm still struggling, y'all. I figured out Instagram 100%. I have not figured out YouTube, but it's okay. This is a part of my New Year's resolution, which is to grow my impact. And I know that that impact is here on YouTube. So if you're in Instagram land, you're in the wrong place. If you have questions for me, you are in the absolutely wrong place. You need to be on YouTube here for Ask Alison. We have about 20 minutes left. So I want you guys to go ahead and drop any questions that you have, any questions you have around dating or relationships. You're going to go ahead and you're going to drop it in the queue or drop it in the chat so that I can answer your questions around dating and relationships. I see that there are 20 people who are here in the live. I appreciate you guys for coming over, but I need to see just as many likes as people. The likes are free. There's no reason why you can't help a sister out and help the algorithm. So go ahead and give me some likes if you are here and you know that I'm about to deliver some value over the next 20 minutes. But like I said, I do have to jump into my group coaching program, The Partner You Deserve. And you can join that. All you have to do is click the link anywhere. But if you really want to get a taste test to see if coaching is right for you, you need to join the Dating 101 Masterclass. I have it there in the chat. Go ahead and drop any questions you have in the chat, and I would be more than happy to oblige. Okay. So on Monday, when I did my training, so that was 2 days ago, on Monday, I did my first YouTube official training with this effort and energy that I'm putting into investing in YouTube. And when I did the training, what I talked about specifically was what to write on dating apps. So this was a training that was for my single ladies who are on dating apps, considering dating apps, and maybe overwhelmed sometimes because they don't know what to write and they're not writing the right things to help them to attract the right mates, but more importantly, repel the wrong ones, right? And so the conversation that was had, and I'm going to make sure that I link that video for you guys to check it out before I take these questions in the queue. The conversation that we had very briefly is that you have to be very mindful of the language that you use to be sure that you are, again, attracting the right mates and repelling the wrong ones. When you use language like, don't swipe on me if you ain't interested in, or if you here to play games, if you not looking for something, when you use that kind of negative language, one of two things, if not both things, will occur. Number one, you are going to attract that negativity right back to you, and you don't want that. You don't want it. Or number two, the types of guys that you would be interested in is thinking that you are jaded and angry. And as a result, they are not going to reciprocate. They will not swipe on you. They will not message you, honey bunny. And so we cannot use any negative language. Again, I'm going to link what do you write on your dating app video, the training that I did on Monday for my first official 2024 transition to YouTube. I'm going to link it in the comments. However, I need you guys to remember positive vibes only. Like that expression exists for a reason. All right, folks, let's get into these questions. Is a year and a half long enough to date and get engaged? Is a year and a half long enough to date and get engaged? So I get a lot of questions around timeline, and it's not an easy question because there are so many factors that are a part of whether or not someone is ready, right? And so if you're talking about somebody who's in their 20s, I would say absolutely not. They need to experience life. They need to know what's out there, because if they are rushing in order to get to those next steps, then it very likely than not, then that relationship will more likely fail, right? You want to give people the opportunity to experience life, to experience love, to experience the world, so that they can be sure that this is what they want, right? And so if you're talking about someone who's in their 20s, I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend someone who isn't healed. See, we spend a lot of time on time, and so do I, right? Because we're mere mortals and time is of the essence. But it doesn't matter if you're not in a healed place. If you're not in a healed place, if you're holding other people accountable for what someone else did, if you are still pining over an ex that never happened, and if you had a second chance, you would have fixed up for them. Like if you're still pining on those things, that you're never going to win. So it's not necessarily about time. Only two consenting adults can decide whether or not the time is appropriate. Right? And so would I date and get engaged in a year and a half? I would at this point in my life. I probably would have a longer engagement though, right? So that's something to consider as well. But only those two people can decide if they are emotionally ready to take such a significant leap. Okay. Hey, I did Dating 101. Have 2 weeks talking and in dates, but he said he's stressed at work and just texts. Am I demanding too much? If I'm not understanding this clearly, please feel free to retype it. But what I understand, I think that you are saying, and I'm going to skip that first line, is that that it's been 2 weeks of talking and you have gone on dates, but he's too stressed at work, and that's why he's just texting. So I don't understand the correlation between being stressed at work and texting. If you are in the mindset and the finger set in order, and I just made up that word, in order to text, I don't see why we could not have phone calls. It seems to me that that's a BS excuse. I would want to know a little bit more in regards to, again, I wasn't clear on your question. Have you been on dates? Have you seen this person in person? Are you sure they are who they say they are? Are you sure that they are available as they may claim that they may be? So I would do a little bit more research, but that seems extremely suspicious to me. Okay. Is it true that if you want to date a successful man, he is also going to be busy? How often should we see each other during the dating phase? That's an excellent question. So if you want someone who is ambitious, and that is the notorious, I want an ambitious man, I think a lot of us are not being reasonable as to accepting the fact that with that ambition means that there are some things that will go to the wayside. So are we sure that we want the level of ambition, or ambition, not level of, because ambition is ambition, right? So people like to pussyfoot around, right? Like to tiptoe around. Oh, I did a little ambitious. It don't work like that, right? He's ambitious or he's not. He's ambitious or he's not. So what you would need to do is you have to decide whether or not financially stable, is that what you need? Do you need this man to be ambitious? Because 9 times out of 10, he is going to put his family on the back burner. It doesn't mean that he's going to desert you. It doesn't mean that he's going to be an absolute absentee parent, right, in this family that we're creating. However, at the same time, if you think he's going to be at every basketball game, that's not happening. Every cheerleading competition, it's not happening. There are going to be dinners that he's going to miss at home. There's going to be family events. There's going to be holidays. So do you want this level of ambition? Do you want this ambitious man? Or are you equating ambition with financial stability, which you should not do, because it's not the same thing. Some people make a lot of money having an easy job, right? So make sure that you are careful, because you know the expression, you get what you ask for. You get ambition, you're going to get a whole lot of other character traits and behaviors that you may not like. What is a reasonable amount of time for someone to be going out if both parties are busy? Now, if you've determined that this busyness is legitimate, right? Like this isn't somebody who's BSing you, like they really are deeply entrenched in their work. Potentially they have a child and you've accepted that, which means that they're going to be investing in that child. Then I would say a few hours a week is probably reasonable. So that's a 3-hour dinner date once a week, right? But expecting 2-3 times a week is probably unreasonable, especially if you are requiring that your partner is busy, goal-oriented, any of that type of language that means that they're invested in other things outside of you and your family. That's an excellent question. Okay. Tips for working the room when you're single, trying to network in professional business events and gatherings. Can I wear a sign that says I am single, LOL? So yes, you can wear a sign. So I'm going to work backwards. Yes, you can wear a sign. You know what that sign looks like? Number one, going to events absolutely by yourself, not even with a girlfriend, because a girlfriend could be a girlfriend, right? So going to events absolutely by yourself is one of the signs that will be helpful. Number two is wearing no ring, and you want no confusion. I would wear no ring on either side whatsoever. This is also an opportunity for me to show off mine. No ring on either side whatsoever, so there is no confusion. Andrew, forgive me, right? There's no confusion here, right? However, same ring. I can get this on, I promise. This is what happens when you try to do experimental things on live. Same ring. I just took the enhancer off. Y'all don't know. It's confusing. We don't know, right? So taking off your rings. Number 3 is going to be you being warm, bubbly, and working the room. Working the room means that you are not going to be stationed at your space, at your table, at your chair, but you are going to be engaging. Oh, I done messed up and then switch back. You are going to be engaging in conversation with other people, with absolute strangers, some of them men, some of them women, right? You're going to make it short. You're going to make it brief. You're going to use the environment. You're going to use the space. How did you hear about this conference? Or are you aware of what's going on in this merger with this company, right? Once it's not proprietary information. But you get the point. The point is that you should be having conversation with more than one person across the room and not stationed at one seat, at one chair, looking like you don't want to be approached or looking like you don't want anyone to have a conversation with you, right? So you're working the room. You are also always looking like your best self. Always. This is not work where all you do is throw on some lip gloss, right? So you should be wearing clothing that accents your favorite parts of your body and then minimizes your least favorite parts. You should be wearing colors that are vibrant and noticeable. Look at this: gold, 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 right? And if you can see the rest of my house, accent with silver and navy blue, like things that pop, things are noticeable. You want to be noticed, right? And then the last piece is that you are absolutely, y'all listening to me, you are absolutely going to let the single people in your life know that you are available. Now, you may say, well, Alison, duh, they know that I'm available, right? Like, especially if anybody who's at the event, who's at the conference, who might be mixing too, you're going to let them know, like, hey, you know, I'm out there, you know, right? So that they can make, oh, let me grab so-and-so from this table because I know him from work and grab you and do the introduction right now. Okay. Just because you're single, it doesn't mean that you're looking. There are plenty of people who are single who aren't looking. So you have to make it abundantly clear to any and everybody who you're cool with in that space that you're available. Make it, say those words. All right, beautiful people, we have 10 minutes left and we have about 3 more questions. Make sure that you're dropping those questions in the chat so I can address them. I see 38 people who are here on the live. I am so thankful that you have come over and transitioned. Come to me, come to YouTube, baby. Come to YouTube, baby, so I can get your question answered. All you have to do is comment the word YouTube in order to get the link in your DM, and then you can join us here on YouTube. 38 people, but only 18 likes. That don't make no sense. Come on, y'all. The likes are free. Help the algorithm. Help a sister out. Make sure that you like. Make sure that you heart. Make sure that you share. Make sure that you subscribe. Subscribing is free and it really helps me out. Okay. So I'm giving to you. You can give to me. Make sure that you like. Make sure that you subscribe. Okay. Next question. If a man says, I remind him of his ex, is that a red flag? How should I navigate whatever he really likes me for me and not because I remind him of her? So I would ask this gentleman, if you haven't done so already, and feel free to put it in the chat if you had. And that's the beautiful thing about us transitioning to YouTube, right? Like there's like more community here. Like you can write more stuff than you could have on Instagram, and you can explain things if I'm not understanding right. So I would ask, what do you mean by that? Like, what is it specifically about me that reminds you of her, right? So where I'm assuming it's looks, but it may not be looks. It could be a perfume. It could be your walk. It could be your laugh. So I'd find out what that is specifically, right? And then from there, I would probably ask the question, so what made you choose your ex-wife? What made you seal the deal? What made you jump the broom? What made you take the leap, right? Start with the positive. And then you're going to go into, okay, well, that sounds amazing. So then what went wrong? You don't want to jump into the what went wrong first. Now, if it were me, I wouldn't care. But I know a lot of people are sensitive about like, what do you bring to the table? Why are you single? We don't need to be sensitive about these things. But if you are, and if you are, then you need to make sure that you approach this differently. So you're going to start with the positive. So what made you take the leap and move forward with her, or have children with her, or buy a house with her, or whatever they established together? And then since you started with the positive, you can now transition to, and then what went wrong, right? And then once you get a response about what went wrong, you're going to compare that thing to you. Are you that thing as well? Is that the thing that may potentially be attracting him to you, or attracting him to you? Yeah, right? And so if that's the thing, then you recognize and realize that potentially he is liking you for the wrong reasons, because you remind him of this woman and not because of the things that are unique about you. And you need to reconsider whether or not you want to continue dating this gentleman. Okay. Hey, we've been friends for years. How do you pursue someone, spend time, go out, call, text every day, and just switch up and barely talk or text out of the blue? Nothing wrong happened. What could it be? So something did happen. I know that we want to believe that nothing happened, but something happened, because there's no reason why someone would switch up a pattern that they have been exhibiting for years. And it's for absolutely no reason at all. There is a reason. You may never be privy to it. So what I will say is, I know that you want to talk about what it may be. It may be that he has a girlfriend, right? And that girlfriend wouldn't be pleased with the fact that he has a significant relationship with a woman. It could be that he became attracted to you and he doesn't want to pursue things, and so he decides to fall back. It could be anything. Someone told him, let me tell you something. The reason why doesn't matter. And that's something that we have to get over as women. As women, we are sometimes obsessed as to why. Why doesn't he love me? Why doesn't he want to marry me? Why won't he introduce me to his children? Why? The why doesn't matter. It just doesn't. It can be a good reason. It could be a no reason that we like it. There's always a reason, but we might not like it. That's not the purpose. What we need to do is we need to understand that that is what it is. It is what it is. And so now what are you going to do as a result of what you know to be true? You know to be true, it's been 5 years and he still hasn't asked for your hand in marriage. You know to be true, it's been 2 years and you still haven't met his children or his family. You know to be true, whatever it is, this is what it is. And now what are you going to do as a result? Are you prepared to give up on the institution of marriage because the relationship is going so smoothly? Then maybe that's what you can give up on. Are you prepared to walk away because you're not happy? Are you prepared to then lose this friendship, even if he's giving pieces of himself? Or are you prepared to suck it up and deal with the phone call here? And you have to decide that, right? But why doesn't he like me? Why? The why doesn't matter. It is what it is. It's something. And then you have to decide how you're going to move forward accordingly with the new parameters that he's established. And if he comes back around and now he wants to be big friends again, and he wants to be on the phone like he used to be, he wants to text like how he used to be, then you need to inquire what caused this, only because you need to decide whether or not you're going to take a chance on this gentleman again to allow him back into your life as a friend. right? And then you could decide what you want to do accordingly. But the why doesn't matter as much. All right, beautiful people. I see 33 people who have joined us for the live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I need to have just as many likes as people who are in the live Q&A. I hope that this Q&A has been useful and valuable to all of you. I'll make sure that the recording is up and available to you and for you tonight. So feel free to subscribe to my page, subscribe to my page, subscribe to my page so that you can get alerts when I go live, which will be Wednesdays. But, you know, we be forgetting. And you can also get alerts on the Mondays when I will do my trainings. All free trainings will now be through YouTube on Mondays. The live Q&A will always be, as it's been on Instagram, here on YouTube on the Wednesdays. All right, folks, I do have to jump out. I do have to join the ladies who invested in themselves in the coaching program, The Partner You Deserve. That is the proven system that has helped over 250 busy professional women get into the relationships that they desire and require. If you are interested in getting the coaching, the support, the hand-holding that you need so that you can get into that committed relationship that you desire, then all you have to do is go to alignwithallison.com. And actually, I got a minute. So let me go ahead and put it in the chat for y'all. Alignwithallison.com, and you are going to schedule your consultation. This is only for people who are serious about getting into the committed relationship that they require and desire. Now, if you're not sure yet, that's a-okay. If you're not sure yet, that's a-okay. Instead, your next step, if you're not ready for full-on coaching, your next step is going to be to get into my Dating 101 Masterclass. The Dating 101 Masterclass will be hosted live on this Friday, January the 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern in Zoom. It is a whopping $19 for you to get an hour and a half of training so that I can teach you how to navigate dating successfully, both online and offline. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that link back in the chat again so that folks can get access. But you can always go to my website, alignwithallison.com. You can click the link of bio, description, all that kind of stuff. It'll be there as well. So there are no excuses. And I want to finish this off with a comment from an amazing woman who said, Alison has helped me so much. Her proven system works. I'm a busy professional woman, and I am only now finally dating with intention, finally meeting quality men and going on great dates. These are not bots. These are real people. Every ring that you see is a real person. Every engagement you see is a real person. Every date night post that you see is a real person. Every house, that's had to put the A at every house that you see is a real house purchased by a couple who was ready to take those next steps because I helped them to find each other through my coaching programs. But again, if you're not ready for coaching, it's a-okay, but you are going to start. Your next step is to do Dating 101. All right, folks, I have to run. This has been a pleasure. Every time I go live, it's going to be better. Every time I go live, the lighting's going to be better. Every time I go live, I'm going to do better with the links. Come on, somebody. Every time I go live, I'm going to get this thing right here on YouTube because this is my New Year's resolution that I'm pushing through and I'm getting done. I could easily sit on my laurels at 90,000 followers on Instagram. I don't want to sit on my laurels. I want to push myself. I want more for myself. I said with my mouth that this is what I was going to do. I wanted to increase my impact. So I'm going to YouTube. So the things that you said with your mouth for 2024, you need to take action on as well. All right, beautiful people. It's been a pleasure. Have a good one. Bye. And while y'all still here,